Good evening. Thanks for joining us. 69-year-old Douglas Prohl is in police custody after refusing to take an intoxication test at the scene of a fatal drunk driving crash on Friday. That incident took the life of a 17-year-old and severely injured her 45-year-old father. And tonight, a person close to the teenager is talking with Action 2 News. Jamal James has a first alert update.
After hearing the news that 17-year-old Chara Bishop lost her life to an alleged drunk driver on Friday, her art instructor, Tasha Greenleaf, said she was devastated.
I was just excited for her going to this party she was going to, her 18th birthday coming up. So February 12th, I just put it on the calendar so we didn't forget and we do something special, because I always do something special for my kids.
This was practically Bishop's second home, and she'd been coming here for the last year and a half every Wednesday and Friday to express herself artistically. And this was the last time Greenleaf saw Chara, just hours before her death.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. So I went back to my cameras because I just wanted to relive that moment.
Chara previously attended John Dewey Academy of Learning. The school released this statement reflecting on their former student's life, saying in part, quote, "Death, especially when it is sudden and unexpected, can be difficult to cope with and understand. While all of us are grieving her loss, please keep her family in your thoughts and prayers," end quote. Greenleaf tells me she believes Chara would have forgiven Prohl, but says people still need to make better decisions.
Some mistakes are a lot more costlier than others. So I say just be more responsible, because it just takes a split second for something to happen that you just can't take back.
Prohl is expected to make his first appearance in court on Tuesday. There's also a GoFundMe for the Bishop family to cover funeral expenses. In Green Bay, Jamal James, Action 2 News.